How's it going, guys? Mick Ambrose from All About Tech, back for another video. Today I want to bring you the points from the recent meeting that Richard Ells had with Crypto Rich for Electroneum. This interview is a really good interview. I really enjoyed Crypto Rich's content. Unfortunately, the call quality wasn't great, but nonetheless, it was an interview that really we needed, as there's been quite a lot of FUD going around recently. I've written down my points. I'm just going to get straight into it because I don't want to be dragging things out. So first things first, where was he when the interview took place? Well, he was actually in Singapore. He's been travelling around. Well, he's been travelling all over the place. He's been to Dubai and Singapore and another place as well. I can't pronounce it, and I'm not going to try to pronounce it. But he's been going to meetings with potential commercial investors and mobile operators in terms of getting them on board to increase the user reach. And he's traveling the world. He's signing deals. It's all happening, and it's fantastic because Electroneum's only been going since November. I think a lot of people need to understand that with what the team is doing in such a short space of time, like the cryptos that are in the top 10, they've been working at it for at least a couple years now, if not longer. But anyway, on to the next point. There's a new developer starting. Literally, I think it's today that he started. He is a blockchain developer. Very, very talented in blockchain. So we hear. He is going to be working on the new anti-ASIC code, so that ASICs can get kicked off the Crypto Night algorithm. While speaking about that, I just want to address a bit more FUD. I know I covered it in my last video that about the whole 51% FUD going around on Reddit, and lo and behold, Chico Crypto, not the biggest lover of Electroneum, once again slates Electroneum at the very end of his video for clickbait. Clearly, there's literally only. Why would you post a video with informative information and then completely ruin that video by slating a cryptocurrency at the end? He basically says that, well, he states that Electroneum is currently under a 51% attack, which is absolutely ridiculous. It was one Reddit user that posted it, and it just so happens that that Reddit user is the same person that got salty when Electroneum wanted to outsource to an actual company for maintenance of their blockchain. And it's coming from someone that slated Electroneum since day one and that has it out for Electroneum. So, and he's basically told everyone if they have Electroneum to sell. And considering this is someone that apparently is meant to be informative and giving advice, he's telling investors to sell at the low so that they lose money when there's about to be another bull run, or at least a bit more increase in price, especially for Electroneum, because we've got this patent that I'll go into in a minute. But as soon as that's announced, there'll be an increase in price, because then there'll be announcements in partnerships as well. And those partnerships will probably be speaking about it as well, because it is a big deal, this patent. But yeah, it's terrible advice. He's literally just advising on pretty much the top 10 cryptos. He doesn't really talk about the only cryptocurrencies that are outside the top 10 or top 100 are ICO reviews. And to be honest with you, you don't really want to be taking on board information that's paid, that's basically paid views. I think he's he's definitely using Electroneum for views. I mean, that's just a given. But also, if you haven't looked at his video, look at his video, because the way he drinks that can of beer, oh my god, it's cringy as, man. He keeps eye contact in the camera the entire time he's taking a sip of his beer. It's weird. It's so cringy. But that's not useful information. I just want you guys to go take the piss out of him a little bit. But going on back to my points, Electroneum, they spoke about how Electroneum has grown faster than basically any other social media outlet. Grew quicker than Facebook, grew quicker than Twitter. I don't know about Snapchat, but it's grown it grew to 1 million users in 4 months, and as of right now, it's only been what 3 weeks since, 2 weeks, 3 weeks since they hit 1 million users, and already there's another 100,000 users on board. Bearing in mind that we're in this massive bear market, and there's been a lot of negativity surrounding Electroneum and the market in general, and they've still got on board another 100,000 users. It just shows that what they're doing is working, and so far they haven't really failed, apart from the whole wallet situation with Cryptopia, which Cryptopia's sorting. Apart from that, there's nothing really bad going on, apart from this sell orders that are being put through to manipulate the price to come down, but I'll go into that a bit more in a minute. They spoke about how the whole cryptocurrency space in mid-2017, that there were only roughly 10 to 15 million people involved in cryptocurrency. And if you think about that now, it's probably doubled since then. But to think that Electroneum holds a big chunk of that, just in them, and they're only they're a bit more than 4 months old now. They're roughly 6 months old, 5-6 months old. But the whole point is that they've gained users at such a fast rate. It's ridiculous. But anyway, on to the next point. The patent. So this whole patent technology, which is involving vendors in some way, it's involving the whole payment ecosystem in some way. That patent has to be submitted by April the 5th, which is tomorrow. So expect some announcements soon, because once a patent goes into patent pending, and then somewhere down the line it's actually readily available to view patents. So an announcement pretty soon afterwards is inevitable, and then expect announcements for partnerships as well, because the whole reason why they can't announce some of these big deals is because of this patent, and they're waiting for this patent to be submitted. So expect these big partnerships to be announced, and then Chico Crypto can eat his words when he's given really bad advice to tell people to sell now when the price is probably going to rise a little bit. If it doesn't rise and there's a fall in the whole market, expect Electroneum to still gain back up the rankings, because at the moment, well, it went down to like 80th, and then as soon as that interview happened and Cryptopia's wallets came back online, we jumped back up to around 70th. So the whole point is that he's just given really shit advice, but all he loves is Neo. But that's a separate, that's a completely different topic. But yeah, so they talked about how the patent helps vendors, and how all these partnerships have had to sign non-disclosure agreements until obviously this patent is submitted. I think it's going to have something to do with the Lightning transaction system, which they are working on, which, as I've said before, what they're trying to do is have a centralized system off of the blockchain that takes transactions, puts it in a queue, and then it will send the queue to the blockchain to be processed, and that way you can instantly buy things as long as you've got the funds in the account. The centralized system checks your account for the funds and then reserves the amount you need, so then you can't spend it again whilst the transaction's being processed, which prevents double spending, and then it goes through on the blockchain. So that's what I think the patent's going to entail a little bit. Obviously, that's the most important part for vendors, the speed of transactions, because you can't have a payment ecosystem where it can take up to 5 minutes for a transaction to go through. You can't have customers waiting in a shop for 5 minutes waiting for a payment to go through. So that's what I think that's going to entail. The next thing they spoke about market manipulation, and how KuCoin have confirmed that there's a group of people that are putting really small buy orders or sell orders just below what the price is, and then they just keep flooding those tiny little orders with those, and then it keeps the price down. I don't know how much difference it would make to the price, but it seems to me like there is a little bit of market manipulation there. I'm not going to comment much more on it, because obviously we have to wait for like an official announcement for things like that. Apart from that, that's all there really is to talk about, to be honest. Over 500,000 downloads for the app now. Nearly 1.1 million users. Things are going extremely well, and there's no reason, apart from, I can understand the fear of this 51% attack, which, apart from one Reddit user that posted it, and those 2 people that were in that screenshot for the chat saying that it could be, there's literally no evidence of it whatsoever. And for someone like Chico Crypto to come out again and just outright state that it's a 51% attack, it's just really bad research, and it's just really bad. It's just really bad news. Well, not like really bad news for Electroneum. I mean, it's just bad content. That's all I really want to talk about. If you like this video, leave it a like. Subscribe to the channel. I'm getting there. I'm getting close to 1,000 subscribers. It means the world to me. So yeah, I'll check you guys out in the next video. Peace out. And last but not least, just give Chico Crypto some shit. So yeah. See you later, guys.